Hi, welcome to today's PEP Talk, Chaos, Distractions, Part 2. In the previous PEP Talk of Chaos and Distractions, I talked about how individuals can create chaos in their lives as a way to distract themselves. And I really do work at trying to keep the PEP Talks relatively short because I want to be respectful of your time and really want you to listen to the whole PEP Talk. And I know everybody has a lot on their plates, and so I just like to have the opportunity to kind of pop in and provide a little information and then allow you to go on with your day. And there were a couple of more ways in which people can create chaos in their lives that I didn't include in that previous PEP Talk, and I just felt like they were so incredibly important that I wanted to be sure and just record another PEP Talk so I could give you a couple more examples. So again, we can create chaos in our lives as a way to distract ourselves. And chaos can be subtle behaviors or activities that we participate in that keeps us from being fully engaged in our life, and it keeps us from dealing with maybe some underlying issues. And so another one that I wanted to mention as a way of distracting ourselves is living in the past. I'm a big proponent of us looking at our past and understanding how it has led us to where we are today, particularly for people who have dealt with trauma. I do trauma work in my practice, and I think it's extremely important for people to heal from trauma in order to move forward and to truly be healthy. However, sometimes we stay stuck in the past and we're not present and living in the moment. And that's a huge distraction. People will beat themselves up over something that they said or did completely unnecessarily. They'll do the woulda, shoulda, coulda game, and they'll go back to events that happened 10, 15 years prior and say, you know, I should have done it this way. I should have done it that way. And we really want to work on living in the moment. What's in our past is in our past. And if we continue to bring it forward, then we're really just living in the past and we're not living in the moment. So again, I'm not saying this to minimize our past. Our past is incredibly important. My point is just not staying there, not continuing to go back and visit it when really we want to be living in the moment. So again, that's another way in which people will distract themselves and prevent themselves from dealing with really what's going on by just keep bringing it up. I think there's a saying that our windshield is significantly bigger than the rear view mirror because we need to be spending our time looking forward, not looking backward. So maybe that's another way to help you to reframe that and think about living in the moment. Another way in which I will hear clients distract themselves is saying, I don't know why I do that. And initially, when people come into therapy in particular, they don't understand usually why they do the things that they do and really understanding what's underneath that. And it is important for us to understand why we do what we do. What I challenge clients on regularly is continuing to say it even when they know why they're doing what they're doing. And again, that is a perfect example of how people create chaos and keep themselves distracted. If I am, let's say there's a client that's drawn to a particular personality in a significant other, and that personality type is extremely unhealthy for them. And we have been working in therapy and they understand why they're drawn to that personality. Maybe it has to do with the character traits of a parent that they have unresolved issues with. And so they keep getting drawn to those personality traits then in significant other relationships because subconsciously they're trying to work out that relationship. And so we've discussed it. They understand why they do it. They understand where that comes from. And then they go on a date or they've gone on several with one person that's really unhealthy for them. And they're in my office and they're saying, I just don't know why I do that. One of the things that I'll do is I'll stop and I say, okay, I need you to take a moment and I need you to really reflect on that because I'm confident you know where that comes from. And we will take time and we'll review it. And that's, again, another example of how we distract ourselves and we keep ourselves from being healthy. It's by saying, I don't know why I do it. Because if I say that, I'm not taking ownership. If I take ownership, that means I'm going to work on changing it. So it's really important for us to understand if there's unhealthy behaviors in our world that we're working on, that we understand where they come from. And if you're saying to yourself, I just don't know why I do that, then that's probably keeping you stuck. And it's probably keeping you in that same cycle that you continue to repeat the behavior again and again. I hope this was helpful, and I hope these examples maybe provided a little insight into your own world. Maybe there's some ways in which you're utilizing these or something similar to these that's keeping you distracted. It's hindering you from dealing with issues head on, and it's hindering you from being fully engaged and present in your life. So I encourage you to take some time and reflect upon these and think, is there a way in which you're distracted in your own world, or you're creating chaos to distract yourself? Thank you for joining me today, and I encourage you to do one thing purposefully to attain true PEP for life.